In this video, we are going to learn how to create a registration form. Okay, so now this three videos, the coming three videos, are going to be based on the forms and the database. Okay, so what we are going to do is in this video, we will be making a registration form, a student registration form, wherein a student will have to enter his or her details. Okay, like the details could be name, age, mobile number, gender, and so on. Okay, so first we will make that page, and then we will even create a database. Okay, we will first create a database. Inside that database we will create a table for storing the registration values. So whenever the user types his or her values, those values, that data should be stored inside the table, right? Okay, so we need to store that data, right? So we will be storing that in the registration table. Now in the next video we will be making a login form. Okay, first we all know that whenever we go to any website for the very first time, we need to register, and after that, once we are registered on that website, then the next time when we go to that website, we need to sign in, right, with our username and password. So same concept we are going to implement. Okay, so let's start. What we are going to do is, first I am inside the folder programming, the same folder that we have been using for each and every video. But right now there are no files. Okay, I have deleted all the files because I want to start from the basic. Okay, so first we have a folder. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to create a PHP file inside this folder, and I will be naming it as register.php because like the name should be similar. Okay, since we are making a registration form, that's why I'm giving out the name as register.php. Now one thing to note, I am giving the extension as .php, but inside a PHP file we can write HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and PHP. Okay, so that's why I have named it as .php. So first step, our very first step is, let's create a registration form. So I'll just say HTML. Inside HTML, let's create directly body tag. No need to create the head and everything. Okay, let's keep it simple. Inside the body tag, let's create a form tag. Okay, now we all know why we use the form tags. Okay, because whenever we are dealing with forms means whenever we want to access the user data, we make use of forms. So users will enter their details. So in order to access those details, we have to keep that inside the form tag, and we know how to access them. Okay, now very first step is, I will just say here, input tag, type, let's give as text. I'll just give as text, and let's give the name variable, name attribute as username. Okay, and I will just say here span is a tag in HTML. Okay, it is an inline tag in PHP. Okay, so inline means all of this will appear on the same line because it doesn't take the entire width of the screen. It doesn't take, it will only take the space that it requires. Okay, so that is inline tag, and here I will simply say name, and let's keep the, okay, let's say name. Okay, let's keep it name only for now. And I will just save it and I'll just show you. Okay, I'm just let's see the output. The path is localhost slash programming slash register.php. Now in this case the file name is register.php. Okay, so I'll just run this. Okay, so like this, we have to make more fields so that user can enter. Okay, so here user can enter their name. Okay, so first is name. Let's say then keep it as okay. I will what I will do instead of name, we will say here. Okay, name. Then I would just say here span, and let's take the email. Okay, email, and here I will simply say just give out some space over here so that it looks good. And now I will simply say input type. Type will be email. Okay, we have a type email, and let's give the name as email. It's okay. Now I will just break the line so that these two appear on two different lines. So for that I will make use of the bi tag. Let's give two bi tags, and I will just show you the progress at the same time. I'll just reload this. Okay, so name and email. Okay, so like this we will make some more fields. Okay, next name, email, and then let's go for, maybe we can go for password. Okay, so I will just say a span password. Okay, now I will just say input, and here the type will become as password. Okay, so we have some predefined types that we can use. Okay, so one is simple text, then we have email, then password. Okay, so like that we have some predefined types, and let's give the name as pass. I will simply say pass. Okay, and here I will just break the line as well. Br and br. Okay, after password I will just say here br and br. Okay, now let's go for the next step that we could do is name, email, password, and let's go for gender. Okay, I will just say span gender. Now this is bit tricky. Okay, this is bit tricky. What we will do here is first we will make input type is equal to radio. Okay, because we make use of radio button. Now I will give you the proper reason why. Okay, but simply I will just say name is equal to gender. Okay, and here instead of here I will just break the line over here. Okay, and here I will say input type is equal to radio, and name is name is equal to gender. Okay, now here I will simply say here pan male, and here I will say pan female, like this. Okay, now we'll just run this and I will show you the output. Okay, so it is looking something like this. Here I will just break the line as well. Okay, one br would be enough. Okay, so what it is saying is name, email, password, and then we have male and female. Now why have I used radio button is we can only choose one. See, if we make use of radio buttons we can only choose one option at a time. So here I can choose only one, either male or female. I cannot choose both. So in it depends on the situation. Now a person can have only one gender, right? Either male or female. Okay, here I'm just taking two options for now. So that's why I have made use of radio buttons. Now how it works, see, here I have given the same name attribute. Okay, you must have noticed this. Why? Because if I give different name attribute, different value to this name attribute, then I will be able to choose both the options. Let's say here I have given gender, and if I give here as gender 1, let's say I give the values as different, then I will be able to select both the options. but that I don't want. So that's why the value of the name attribute should be same in case of radio buttons. Only then it will work. Okay. Yeah, so I think this much is fine for the registration form. I will simply give out one header over here. I will just say H1. Okay, I'll just say H1 registration form. Let's reload this once again and let's see. Okay, now it looks a bit nice. Okay, we have the field for name, email, password and gender, and we will even create one submit button. Let's create. I will just again one br would be okay, and here I will just say yeah. Okay, and here input type is equal to submit, name is equal to submit, and the value is equal to submit. Let's reload this now. This is the form. Okay, this is our form. Now whenever the user visits the website for the very first time, he needs to register, right? And once he is registered, he then after that he can log in order to use the website. Okay, that is what the protocol is. Now what I will do is our registration form is ready, but only GUI means the HTML part is ready. I haven't written the code to access the values that user has entered. So what I will do is I will come outside the form tag. Okay, and here I will create PHP tags. Okay, because we have to make use of PHP in order to access these values. Now here I will say if is set dollar underscore post. Okay, and one thing I forgot, in the attributes will be first, let's say method is equal to post. That's all. We will use the post method. Now we know why we use post method, and I will simply say here submit. Okay, so means what am I doing is this code says that as soon as the submit button is clicked, then only run this code. Okay, because when user will enter the submit button, only then this code should be executed. Okay, now inside here what I will do is I will first go to PHP MyAdmin. Okay, let's go to PHP MyAdmin. PHP MyAdmin. Okay, so I am in the PHP MyAdmin, and what I will do now is I will go to the database called programming. Okay, we created this database in some previous videos, and since then we have been using this. So what I will do inside this database, we have two tables that we created in some video. So firstly, I will delete these two tables. Okay, let's drop them. I'll simply pass the query drop table. The table name is student more details. First, let's drop this table. Okay. Okay, so now let's drop one more table. Drop table. Table name is student detail. So we have this two tables. So now I'm just deleting them, and let's create two fresh tables. Okay. Okay, so now this database is not consisting any table. So what I will do is I will create a table called registration. Create table registration where the details will be stored. Okay, so first step will be to store the name. Okay, first user will enter his or her name, so we will first store the name. So for that I will just give the column name as name, and let's give the at it as varchar. Let's give the limit as 100 for now. Then Our second data is email. Okay, so I will just say here email, which is also varchar, and let's give it as 50. Then we have password. Okay, so I will just say here pass, which will be varchar. Okay, and let's give it as 50. I'm just giving the names of the columns. Okay, so the first is name, second column is email, third is password, fourth is gender. Okay, so I'll just say here gender, which is also varchar. So I will just give it as 10. Okay, so I'm storing this much data because I'm taking four details from the user. First is the name, second email, third is password, and fourth is gender. So that's why I created four columns in my table. Now let's create this. Okay, I'll just go. Okay, so the data, so the table has been created, and now what I will do is here. Here what I will do is I will create some variables and I will access the values that user has entered. So I will just say first let's create a variable name which will hold the value, which will hold the name that user has entered. And then attribute name is holding the value username. So through that we can access the value. So I will just say dollar underscore post, and here I will just say username. Similarly, I will create one variable called password, and I will just store the value, the password that user has entered. The value of the name attribute in that case is pass. Then we have email. So I'll create one variable dollar email, which is equal to dollar underscore post, and then we have email. And lastly, we have gender. So I will just say gender is equal to dollar underscore post, and it has a value gender. Okay. So what I'm doing is I'm storing the values that user has entered in all these variables. Okay, that is what I'm doing. But now I won't be inserting any data in the table because that is what we are going to see in the next video. Means in the next video we will be creating a login form and a table. So in the next video we are going to see how to create a login form, and in the third video we will be learning how to connect, okay, how to integrate our PHP with the database. That is what we are going to see. So we are going to go step by step. No need to learn everything in a single video. Okay, so here this is how we created a registration form, and here I'm just accessing and storing the values that user has entered in some variables, and this is the table wherein we are going to store all those details. I will just show you the table structure. Okay, so the table looks something like this. It has four columns: name, email, password, and gender. Okay, so this is all for today's video, and in the next video, let's learn how to create a login form. Thank you.